It's Rad. And today we're going to check into the upcoming week, 13th to 19th of May, 2024. And the first thing I'm going to do, as per usual, that's going to be the collective reading, the cards of which you can find in the thumbnail of the live stream, but I'm going to show them to you in any case. And just give me a second here. Okay. And the first one that we got, that is the Moon card, followed by the Two of Pentacles. And the third one that I drew for the upcoming week, that is going to be the Queen of Wands. So these three cards as an elemental dignity, just how it stands like this. And at least according to them, it's a pretty big one. Okay, it's a pretty big week. And that is particularly coming from the Moon card with the Two of Pentacles here that we do have, these two. And they do represent, how do I describe it? It's a big week because according to these cards, there is going to be a change of plans. It's the best way how I can describe it. A change of plans which will happen, say, out of our control. Now, the change of the general direction of the plan is more or less going to stay the same. So whether the plan is to get a big promotion, whether the plan is to earn money, whether the plan is to be with someone, whatever the case, the general direction of the plan, like I said, is gonna stay more or less the same. But the execution itself, this is where things are going to undergo a certain diversion, for a lack of better expression. And this particular diversion is going to be super positive, even if we are not open to it at that given time. That is because with the Two of Pentacles, especially sitting next to the Moon card, that is where certain parts of the execution that we are anticipating to do, whether that could be a date or a certain plan for a date, you know, or a certain plan for undertaking, it's a bit outdated, or is going to be a bit outdated going forward with the events that are going to follow up in this particular week, which obviously are going to be personalized for every single one of us. And some of the execution, like I said, we are anticipating does not fit with these new events or with these new circumstances which are going to come up into that week. And for that reason, that execution no longer is going to be applicable in any case. But thinking on a whim, or taking on advantage on a whim, so to speak, will allow us to transform these outdated concepts, because we can truly call them concepts here, right? So we can transform these outdated concepts into something that is going to truly work. And it's not only going to truly work, but as with the Moon card sits on the prime position, guys, I don't want to say if I can proudly announce, but I delightfully announce that these changes which we are to incorporate, that switch of outdated concepts into dated ones, are gonna put us on the map again. And there are a few things though that we should avoid. It comes from that particular elemental dignity here, right? The Moon card with the Queen of Wands, and this elemental dignity has a specific incorporation or appliance. And this is especially if you are leading certain negotiations. Maybe you are negotiating for your inheritance, or you are negotiating for a raise, you are undergoing merger, whatever the case, you are negotiating terms. Presuming whatever your client or your parents or, I don't know, your spouse wants, worst thing you can do. You do not presume, you work with the facts which are going to lead you to update, so to speak, your perception is not the right word, your concept of what you gotta do at that particular point, how to change your execution, or how to evolve. It's not even a change, it's more of a evolve, how to evolve your execution, your behavior, your negotiation tactics, so you can get where you want to be. Because the moon card here at the very front of the reading with the Two of Pentacles, it's an indication that you are going to get there. I mean, the goal is on the mark, but the execution is missing that mark slightly, but you will rectify that. You are gonna right the wrong here. We are going to right the wrong here into the upcoming week. One condition, we do not presume what the other wants, and the other condition, cockiness. We should not be cocky. We should not be riding on a high horse thinking that we are the best that there is. That doesn't mean that we aren't, but this sheer attitude is going to repose. How is the Bulgarian spring, Taco? Hold on a second. I need to refresh the page. Just give me a moment here, a page to refresh. All right. So how's the spring, you say? Well, you can call it that. I mean, we do have a spring storm and sort, but it's a bit colder than it should be. It's a bit weird weather. And the temperatures, it's pretty big oscillation, by the way, Taco. One day we do have a record high, the other day we do have record low. It's kind of crazy. The weather right now, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, that was the collective reading. There are going to be 12 more like this one, not just only 4, but 12 more like this one. And bear in mind that these are going to be a general readings for your star sign, so use them on your own discretion, use them on your own liberty, but I would advise you to use the information as a guidance, as a point that's to open your eyes for other possibilities, for other approaches, rather than a direct and concrete answer to whatever situations you are finding yourself into, because at the end of the day, they are not your personal readings. But if you do wish your personal situations to be a subject of my skills to interpret tarot cards, you can always go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you will, guys, see full list of my services, and as well their pricing, and based on your budget and as well your needs, you can go for whichever one suits you best. Now, other than that, if you do decide to support the show, you can do so either using Super Chat or using PayPal. And the link of the PayPal you will find in the description down below. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. So, with that said, Ivaila, thank you for the $11.12. Thank you, Ivaila. Taco, thank you for the $33.33. Thank you, Taco. Nancy, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Nancy. And News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you, News Devon. You guys are gonna have a reading at the end of the stream. Let me put you into the list. Hold on a second. All right. So News Devon, the best I can do to your inquiry here with the super chat is to tell you how your brother is gonna take it if you tell him how you feel, and that you can base your, if you wish, of course, you can base your decision on that information, because I can't make a choice. Tarot cannot make a choice for you, News Devon. So bear that in mind. Yeah, they were talking about that kind of that storm in the news here, and they showed some pictures of it. Apparently, we didn't have the aurora here in our part of the world, but other than that, the pictures that they do showed on the news that they do showed on the news was kind of terrifying. But you know, Taco, I think I shared that in a few streams in the past, that there is a dream that I have made, and that is, it kind of sounds stupid and foolish, but my dream is to witness tornado. For real. I mean, I can watch in YouTube, you know, I can take pull out some videos from people that are chasing tornadoes, storm chasers or whatever they're called. But I would really love to kind of see the power of nature myself. And I can only do that reliably in the United States. In our part of the world, there is a tornado. I mean, they form occasionally, but they're extremely rare, exquisitely rare, and they're small. I do think that the biggest one that we do had in the modern history, EF3, I was nothing like, for example, Joplin or Tuscaloosa that you two guys had 2011. 2011 was crazy for the United States. They called it Tornado Valley. Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Yasmin. So, let me put you into the list. Let's go forward with the readings. Aries first. Ten of Pentacles. The Moon. And the Empress. Those are the three cards. Definitely a big one for Aries, guys, because that is the week where your long-term plans from the past are to bear fruit and to leave you at peace. What I mean is, whatever decisions, planned decisions, that is, not decisions on a whim, not decisions being made while you are under the gun, right, with the gun put to your head, figuratively speaking, but planned so, are going to, like I said, bear fruit, and that will grant you a certain independence. So consider decisions and planning on how to repay a debt, how to become a valuable asset into your company, right? Or, you know, how to solidify in generally. That could be your romantic life, or that could be your personal life, that you have made. Well, it doesn't have to be that recent. Let's say within the past 6 months, now within this week, are going to exactly solidify and grant you the independence within this field where those decisions have been meant and directed for. Or in other words, you are about to reap what you sow, and for what I see, that's going to be a sweet reaping rather than a bitter one. And don't you know it? I mean, these results that you are going to face that week, that pleasant music which you're going to face that week, actually it's just a step. You can call it even just a trampoline or a tarmac from which you are about to set on a rocket to sky out you, or you are about to skyrocket from there. So that's just the beginning of the good fortune that you are going to face, provided you do not resign or resent that decision or these plannings that you have made. And one very specific case with these cards that obviously is not going to happen to every one of you, but this is just the influence you saw. Previous people, exes, okay, unfinished businesses. Well, that could be with business partners. Again, like I said, exes, friends that have things didn't have to end on the wrong term here or on the wrong foot, but where things haven't ended right or have been left unfinished, it's very prominent that, you know, the situations with these people and these people consequently are going to come back so you can right the wrong this time around. Oh, Taco, I'm not talking about hurricane. I'm talking about a mesocyclone. I'm talking about the cumulonimbus, you know, the supercell, which ain't a hurricane. It's on a smaller scale. So I don't have to be in the midst of it, all right? I can be far away and just observe the tornado in peace. I don't want to be in the midst of hurricane, mate. That's terrifying and devastating. But I know in Florida, because you mentioned Florida, you guys got hit every year, what, 3-4 times by hurricanes? And I was always wondering, how is there anything standing there? I mean, if you get hit every year, why are you staying there if you have to evacuate every year at least twice? All right, Taurus, King of Swords, the Magician, and it is the Strength. Oh, that's super good. And it's gonna sound a cliche, what those cards are actually representing for you, Taurus. But I'm gonna give it to you straight. Just give me a moment here because I forgot some. Right, so I'm gonna give it to you straight in the sense of that this week will be the week where you actually are gonna find a way through. That doesn't necessarily mean a way out. Or in other words said, whatever predicaments you do face, you will find the means and the capacity, because it's not only the physical means, like the resources and the situations, or rather like the circumstances to fix whatever your marriage or whatever your job, but also the awareness how to do it. So, and through careful analysis, that this is all I'm pointing here, through careful analysis, and through that analysis, picking up your resources or things that you do have as a leverage and putting them into the right places, the way out through your or amongst your problems will be pretty much revealed to you. Suffice to say here, you're facing problems at work, you're facing problems at your love life. That's going to be the week where you're going to have the answer how to resolve them. Now, whether you move to resolve them or not, that is entirely on your own discretion. It's your choice. You either take or leave it. But for what those cards are pointing, if you pick up the choice I am to resolve these problems, there is going to be much more to that in a sense of development. So by resolving these issues at work or in your marriage, simultaneously, you will set a higher bar for the whole endeavor. You will set a higher bar for your career or for your love life or for your social life or for your family life, or wherever those problems are to be resolved. They could be resolved in multiple fronts as well. The bottom line here is that you are going to have your answer, how to move forward, how to negotiate your peace, whether you move for it or not. Like I said, entirely up to you. You're moving abroad? Where are you going? All right, Gemini. I haven't heard of that. South America? Is that where you're going? Temperance, the Tower, Two of Cups, you know, I'm watching right now. I am watching for the third time the show Suits. Or Suits, whichever part in the world you are finding yourself into. And it's cool because the guys there, the lawyers, are always in a very suspenseful situation for us, the viewers, right? Where they're always with the back against the wall, one step off the cliff and whatever. And at the end, they always escape unscathed. Or they fix the situation unscathed. Well, that's your week, okay? Whatever pushes you toward the wall, it does look like that you will going to get out of it unscathed. Whether that's the divorce you're going through or whether that's the plummet into your career that you're going through. These cards do indicate a crisis, Gemini. For some of you, could be a small crisis, like a crisis with your children that you are going through right now. For others, it could be a major crisis, loss of a business, loss of a job, loss of somebody. And like I said, you do have the capacity here to get out of it unscathed. Few conditions, especially if you are dealing with people, you will have to put some heat on your heels and actually move for yourself. Because for what those cards are indicating for you, Gemini, there are a lot of people around you that does not agree with how you move and generally your direction that you are taking, how you conduct business, for example, how to treat your family. And you shouldn't give a dime about them. I mean, you shouldn't give a dime about their opinion for what those cards are showing. Do you know why? Because they ain't in your shoes. Simple as that. As you aren't in their shoes, and therefore you shouldn't judge them. So that's one of the conditions. The other conditions is can I put it into words? You need to know how far you can go in terms of demands and how much you can take, and so bind yourself to it. Don't go for more. Don't try to bite more than you can chew. You're gonna choke on it, at least according to these cards. Now, one negative to this, it is that you are gonna break certain relationship if you go for it. Certain relationships if you go for it. But they ain't gonna be major relationships. People who are prone to give you compassion and solidarity, they will keep on giving it. These are relationships which you had truce in, and that truce is going to be disturbed and is gonna come back to whether war or ignorance. But according to these cards, these people would never like you or love you. It's just a mutual truce, because right now that benefits all parties involved, but ain't gonna benefit you anymore. So put some heat on your heels and do something about the crisis you're going through right now. According to these cards, that's gonna be the week where you're gonna go through it unscathed. Right, next, that's Cancer. The Sun, Death card, and the Wheel of Fortune. That could play a couple of ways, just in general. So for some of you Cancer, that will be a super blissful alignment or blissful alignment, whichever way you want to call it, where things are just falling at their places, and that alignment not prohibits, but let's say stalls or straight away negates, say the foreclosure of your business, say negates the foreclosure of your home, say negates the foreclosure of, I don't know, of your hobby, okay? And one simple, and I want to make a very strong disclaimer here, I do not advocate for what example I'm going to give. That's just an example, right? I do not advocate for that at all. In fact, I beg of you, don't do it. But it's just the first example that came to my mind, is that the bank is ready to foreclose and is closing on you, right, at your mortgage, and is about to take your home, and you suddenly win in a casino, and you have the money to actually pay back. I do not advocate for that. I don't think that gambling should ever exist. That is something that repulses me, right? It's just, it creates that feeling of dread and repulsion you just can't even imagine, right? But it was just an example that came to my mind, so I always say what comes to my mind. And that's one way how things can come up, right? Under the influence of these cards. Certain circumstances that completely change the odds you have, the odds that are stacked against you, and now you can move to negate or change the tides in a thing that it is foreclosing on you. Now, the other way how things can play out for you, it is again through a super unexpected, positive, and not harmless, but say beneficial circumstances. What you have lost returns to you. You lost a relationship, you lost a job, you lost, I don't know, a house, you lost your bike, whatever the case, and it returns to you. Although the bike, it's not a good example because we're talking about experience here, not an object. And the reason why that's the case, it is because what you have lost, at least according to these cards, it's a part of your life and it can't exist without you, so it comes back to you. Something like Sauron and the ring, you know, the ring always tries to get back into the hand of Sauron, although Sauron lost it. So enjoy your week, guys. It seems that good things and beautiful things are going to happen to you. All right, moving next, that will be Leo. Ten of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and we do have the Knight of Cups. These three cards. And they do refer above everything else, like their influence is strongest when it comes to business and career. Okay. Oh, let me refresh again my page here, because okay, it seems it's working now. All right, so their influence, it's the most strongest when it comes to your job, your work, or looking for such within this week. And basically what they do show, it is that the pressure is going to be off. You're going to take the edge off, or say the universe is going to take the edge off when it comes to your business responsibilities and you looking for work. And in case that you do what you're looking for work, your hard accomplishments, or how can I put it into words, the hard work you did to get your accomplishments and your loyalty is about to be evaluated and liked within this week. So it's very likely you have a bigger odds to find a job that is going to grant you comfortable existence within the upcoming week. Now, other than that, when it comes to personal life and in general experience, what those cards are referring to, it is that you are to be allowed, say by the universe or by the environment around you, by the circumstances, to do your thing in peace without being interfered every step of the way, without being given a hard time. So according to these cards, Leo, you are urged to roll up your sleeves and do the most you can throughout this week, because at least according to them, you are going to face no interference whatsoever. And it is one of the best weeks you can have to chase the dreams of your heart. Okay, next, that will be Virgo. Eight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Cups, it's a promise. It is a promise. Now it's not the time, but the time is to come. So it's a promise of chances. Let's say that you like a person, you like a guy or you like a girl, whatever your preference is, and you do approach this person throughout this particular week. So according to these cards, the cards are showing that it is very likely whatever compulsion you do have, that compulsion is to be shared. Just the circumstances aren't right at this time. Your goal is to be executed. However, the circumstances are up for a change. Or let's give another example. You want a promotion, okay? You want your name on the wall. And you express that. And under the energy of these cards, or under the influence of these cards, what is likely for you to hear is that this isn't going to happen now, but I am saying that this is not going to happen ever. So you're going to have a confirmation and a promise that you do have a chance, which is far better than nothing. And the reason why the circumstances aren't, well, there could be a lot of reasons, but it is just the most prominent one according to these cards. The environment, lazy, sluggish, and it's just nothing is moving at that given point. So you can take on the stride of the business or of the love life. It's in limbo at that given point, and the tip of the balance needs to be tipped, or the scale of the balance needs to be tipped. So there is a certain movement, and therefore your time can come. But nonetheless, Virgo, you will have your promise for a successful career, if you go for it, of course, for a successful career or for a harmonious relationship. All right, moving next, Virgo. It's 10 of the major arcana, which is the Wheel of Fortune, followed by the Hermit. And the third one, that's going to be Justice. So it seems that you will have exactly what you want as a responsibility. Needless to say, super good cards when it comes to business. You want more responsibility, you want more work, you want a bigger, wider contract, you want more work in general, like clients, purchasing orders. You will have a chance to win that within the upcoming week. It's just, again, with the Wheel of Fortune, the circumstances are going to be great for you to go for it, to attack that direction. One thing though, right? One thing is that before you decide to take on something, like to take on a client, to take on a project, to take on a person, endeavor in general, make sure it is important for you, because the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit sitting next to one another does indicate that not everything is going to serve you good purpose. Not everything is going to be that important for your development in general going forward. So one thing is going to be a waste of time, but the other is going to happen to be the light at the end of the tunnel for you. And the only way how you can discern that, it is by being accountable towards yourself. That is the most important thing that you should go for into the upcoming week, being accountable towards yourself when you decide which undertaking to take and which one to pass on. Give me a moment. Forgot my coffee on the bar. Right, so that was Libra. Same thing, by the way, Libra, it's valid for your love life, okay? In order to make your love life important and substantial for you, you need to kind of like into the upcoming week to define the rules of the game. What game you're going to play with your love interest or with your wife or husband. And whatever rules you dictate, make sure that they are something important for you, right? Because otherwise it's going to be waste of both of your time. For example, if you are arguing for meaningless stuff, let's say who talked to who. All right, moving next, that will be Scorpio. All right, so we do have the Aeon, the King of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. So these three cards. And I will need a minute. It's one of the two. Whether we are throwing our efforts for the wrong, it's not for the wrong reason or for the wrong person, for the wrong purpose, I'm sorry, but it is either at the wrong place or for the wrong person. That's one way how these cards can play out into the upcoming week. The other way how they can play out is through an offer or a proposal that we are to be addressed with, which is something to beguile us in the wrong direction. It's to sway us in the wrong direction. So that's going to be a week where we should definitely, as a Scorpio, we should definitely go forward with, say, our gut and our own personal perception for what is the best for us as individuals, simultaneously in our love life and as well into our career. And when I touch the love life, this is where these cards do represent a situation where somebody is talking us one thing, but when you see them how they do behave in a completely different way. They always do have an excuse. Okay, so that's going to be the cue not to believe that individual or even these people. Kind of like they're telling us how much we mean to them and how much our work means to them, but they treat us like shit. Okay, they treat us like I don't know, garbage. So that's going to be the cue for us not to believe it. But there is going to be a way forward here. Now the justice, not the justice, but the Aeon judgment. As the judgment stands into the prime of the reading for us, Scorpio, there is going to be an opening that is going to be only for us. No one else is going to see it. And it's very important that we do take it. Although we are going to have to leave something or someone behind here, which indicates the Four of Pentacles next to the Aeon, right? And these two cards standing together, it means that in order to take our way forward or a way out or a way through, whatever way that thing presents to either of us, we will have to jeopardize certain foundations, whether we will have to jeopardize the stability of our marriage, or for those of us who has it, whether we will have to jeopardize the solidity of our current job. That's going to be necessary for us to start paving our own way forward, whether in our love life or whether in our career. Right, so moving next, that will be Sagittarius. Well, Pisces Moonbeam, you wouldn't be able to, because they were provoked by a super intense magnetic storm, and they were only visible wherever the magnetic storm hit the globe. So they weren't visible everywhere. I mean, the aurora borealis. And they weren't I think that they were red. Is that so, Taco? Because that's how they looked like on the videos I saw. The real aurora borealis, which are created by the magnetic field, not by a magnetic storm, they're green. King of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Hermit. So for Sagittarius, it's quite the opposite than it was for Scorpio. You're also going to have a proposal, but unlike for Scorpio, your proposal, whether that's going to be a romantic proposal, job offer, a new proposal from a client, a new proposal for merger, a new proposal for going out, vacation, whatever the case, but you're going to have a proposal this week. And that proposal will going to play a super important role for the development of your future and for what those cards are advising. When it comes to you, that proposal itself, you will find it very hard. In fact, you will not going to find any reason whatsoever to reject it or to deny it, so to speak. And you will not going to need to, because it's going to be more or less perfect for your cause, for your agenda. And the fact that we do have the Wheel of Fortune next to the King of Cups here only speaks that that proposal doesn't come to you because you are the second or the third or the 15th gear and the first one didn't wanted it, right? That proposal comes to you because you are on the first gear, you are the very first choice, you are the one who deserves it. And you are the one who fits at this given moment. You live on an island? How I did not know that? Capricorn. Two of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. The Hangman. Well, this is very similar to the collective reading that I made at the start of the stream. Well, for you, Capricorn, as you do wait it out, I, the things for you will fall where they're supposed to be on their own accord. So you don't even have to do anything throughout the week. As you do wait it out, the unnecessary part of the procedure or of your doing or of your plans, your anticipations, are going to start dropping off one by one. And therefore, in the end, what you are going to be left with, it is only enterprises or options available, so to speak, that can only work for you. That refers to either love life or refers either to your career options. And the beauty of all that, it is that Seven of Wands, which stands next to the Two of Pentacles here, these two cards, as these outdated options are start falling apart. Also, the problems that they do carry, and especially the competition that they do carry with them, is going to start becoming more and more irrelevant for you. And the other thing that is going to happen here are heights. Heights that you deem important will start becoming less and less important, and it will be replaced with new heights, which are far more productive and far more important. So whatever problems you are facing, at least according to these cards, the only thing that you gotta do in order for these problems to become either irrelevant or to see a new perspective how to resolve them, which is going to be much more effective than the one you have right now, is just only wait. Wait them out. Waver the storm. Wait it out. Or rather, like, weather the storm by waiting it out. I'm sorry for the expression, not waver, but weather. Aquarius. Ace of Pentacles. Five of Swords. Page of Swords. So, Aquarius, it does depend how much you care what people think of you. If you do care much what people think of you, what people think about your performance in general, and as well your goals, then you won't be able to accomplish much into this week. So this is how the thing stands, guys. That week will present you with good and simultaneously a rare opportunity to develop your goal. Whether that goal is, I don't know, to get a promotion, whether that goal is to have peace, right? Whatever goal you have. And you're going to have that good and rare opportunity simultaneously. So the one thing you can expect from the week is content and feeling fullness of life throughout the week. But you will also going to be ridiculed for either the goal or the way you want to chase that goal. Or in other words, say you have a business partner, you have a goal in business, and your business partner is going to ridicule your the way you want to get to that goal. You will be chastised, criticized, and even some of you are going to be humiliated. Unfortunately, having that Five of Swords here next to the Ace of Pentacles, very possible that to be happen. So you shouldn't cave under it. You shouldn't respond to threats. You shouldn't respond to strong arming, because that is very, very prominent here. And if you don't do so, then what you can expect, it is a lucrative business maneuvers, harmonious relationships, depending on what goal you have set and bestowed upon yourself. If the goal is in your social or romantic life, harmonious relationships it is. If it is within your career and job, then lucrative maneuvers, lucrative undertakings, lucrative endeavors. All right. And last but not least, we have Pisces on our hands. Seven of Cups. The Tower. Eight of Swords. That's like a rainbow. It has a bit of everything here. And it's quite hard to explain it. So you know these moments where your general idea is good, but you want to scrap everything out and start from the beginning, start again. Like building a car, but you don't know, but you don't like how things are coming about. And you want to just break it down and start again from the very scratch. Well, that's not a week you do it, at least according to these cards. Now, what happens and what these cards are disclosing here as a influence, it is that whatever the goal, it's the can is kicked so far into the future that right now nobody knows, or in other words, what's going to happen is anyone's guess. Okay. And you starting from the very beginning or destroying what you have built up until this point and starting from scratch, it's just only gonna make you have wasted your time and your efforts. It's not gonna do much for you other than taking you a few steps back from the goal itself. And another thing is that throughout this week, it's going to be good to take everything that you have been given as an information with a grain of salt, because there is going to be a disruption there. I'm not saying that people will aim to lie to you, but there is so often a situations where you are explained something, but the other side who are explaining the situation presumes that you know certain things from it. And thus they haven't done a good job conveying the information. So you're hearing, or rather like you are fathoming it in a different way or in a wrong way, but not because you don't have the capacity to fathom, because you haven't been explained thoroughly what it is all about. So these are the two things you need to be vigilant of throughout the week. Other than that, that's a week where you're going to understand that anything can happen, so you shouldn't scratch your idea, nor you should kind of like try to do it in a better way, because there is no better way at that point. The better way, is it possible or not? Like I said, for what these cards are showing, anyone's guess, guys. So just, I don't know, I hate saying that word, but have patience, look forward toward the future. I don't know how to express it here, but that isn't a week where you do backtrack, at least according to these cards. Right, so that's going to do it for the 12th. And now we are coming to the super chat. Just let me get my glass of water. All right. So first one, Taco. Let's check on your week, mate. And let's see what's coming along. Taco. Those are your Lenormand cards. We do have the bouquet, the sun, and it is the cross. Those are the 3 tarot cards. We do have the 9 of Pentacles, Temperance, and 7 of Swords. So we're talking about some kind of a gift or a bonus here, okay, which is going to do its job. And I'm sorry for the expression, but to me it kind of looks like a bribe. It doesn't have to be intentional bribe, you know, but it kind of looks like a bribe, whether you will do that or someone will try to bribe you in any case, okay? But that's going to create problems. It's going to create problems with the other side. So you should brace yourself, because that's a week where you will be deemed selfish. Someone who thinks only about themselves. Hell, that could be a present for yourself. You may decide to gift yourself something, to buy yourself something. I don't know, like the last time I gave an example with a chopper, right? With a motorcycle. You may decide to gift yourself one of those. Or buy a new console, buy a new TV, buy a new car. It's a present for yourself, but there is a present involved here, right? That will do its job, hit the mark, but you will be deemed, like I said, selfish for it. So how can you mitigate that? Well, do one for the team as well, okay? You take one, you give one. That's the way how you do it. Now, the other way to mitigate it, or rather like to pass through it, don't pay attention or ignore the cries, so to speak, which is the compromising way. So whatever the gift is about, it's gonna do half job going forward that way by ignoring. So if you do want to mitigate the negative consequences of it, being scowled, being frowned upon, then you will have to compensate and do one for the team. Just to give you an example, you buy yourself a chopper, okay? You buy yourself a motorcycle. Maybe alongside it, you want to buy something for your wife as well, because otherwise, we all know what is coming, right? I mean, yeah, it's either you or you are to give it, okay? But whatever the gift is, if you aren't planning to make a gift or to buy a gift, then probably it is you are receiving it, unless it's a bribe that you have to give the very, very last minute here. But in either way, it's going to be taken the wrong way from the exterior, like I said. Say from your family, say from your friends, say from your wife. So because we do have that cross here, the cross is troubles, problems which are coming from the success of the gift itself. Hell, for all we know, it could be another woman who sends you, I don't know, flowers, or sends you her best wishes, or whatever case, right? And, you know, women, jealousy. But that is just an example. It's highly unlikely, because it's a gift. It's something that has its merits, okay? Okay, so that was for you, Taco. Moving forward, we do have Nancy. Or, you know, it could be bonus at work. I don't know what you're working, okay? But say you have a job and you are the one who gets a bonus, and that makes your colleagues frown upon you because they didn't get one, right? That's one way how the gift could be successful, to make you appreciate your work, but in the same time creates hostility in the environment. Thank you, Taco. All right, Nancy. Those are cards here. So within this week, whatever broke your heart, that doesn't have to be a heartache, like you know, someone broke with you in a relationship. It could be, I don't know, a disappointment. You know, a client of you disappointed you, or your neighbor disappointed you, but something broke your heart recently, at least according to these cards. And whatever broke your hearts will be rectified, but not by the same thing, okay? Like by the same person, but by the same endeavor. Let me give you an example. A client broke privilege with you, or broke a clause in the contract, broke amendment or stipulation, whatever the case, and you no longer have faith in clients, or you lost faith in clients at that point, so they broke your heart, figuratively, right? Well, another client will restore that hope in you, because they will, for example, follow that to the book. Or say you have been betrayed by a friend, well, then another friend is going to show you a undying loyalty, right? And so on and so forth. It is just say you have experienced recently the stick, and you are about to get the carrot here into the upcoming week. Bottom line, it is that you are going to see that the evil is contagious, true, but the good is too. I mean, the good either. So you have experienced the evil, and you are about to experience the good about it. That said, you will not gonna have to seek another way around it, because that is another thing that the cards are indicating. Okay, like you have been betrayed by a friend, and like you are seeking a way how to protect yourself from such a thing moving forward, like building up walls in between you and people, which is not a solution. And you will see that there is no need of it, because there are bad people, but just as much bad people there are just as many good people as well. All right. Or in other words, Nancy, you will find a way to make your heart stop bleeding, figuratively speaking. All right. Moving next, Yasmin. You're welcome, Nancy. Okay, Yasmin, those are the cards for you, those three. We do have the Moon, the Ace of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. And they do refer to delay that concerns your social environment. The way how I take it, it is that you are waiting for something to either resolve or to happen within a social circle, or say with a friend. Well, it's a group of people. It's not just only one. It's a group of people. And now that I think of, it doesn't have to be your social circle as well. Maybe it could be with the people that you are working with. It's a congregation, so to speak. And this wait is about to come to an end. And it does seem that the matter within the upcoming week is about to be resolved definitively. So it's no longer going to be an issue moving, by the looks of it, moving forward. And while you are trying not to think of it, by burying yourself with, say, work or say with activities, you won't be able to escape that resolution, nor you need to escape that resolution. So suffice to say, Yasmin, that is a week where a big knot is about to be unraveled when it comes to your to you dealing with a group of people. That could be an organization as well. I don't think it's a company, but it's more like, yeah, it's more like either organization or a particular social circle. And no matter how they or you, because you know it works both way, try to twist things around, that only delays the inevitable though. And the inevitable is about to happen within this week. And I think that you are gonna come on top of it, because no matter the results, it's something that it is, at least according to the cards, it's something that you have been meant to be a part of one way or another. So not only you can expect a resolution to a, how can I put it into words, to a collective endeavor, but also that resolution to set you on the right track. So if there is a question here, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Yes, you are. Or, at the very least, you are about to be, Yasmin, with that resolution which is coming your way. All right, next. Ivila, you see what your inquiry was? What are P's intentions toward me? Okay, but I can only look into the current intentions. They can change tomorrow. So these are the intentions based on the situations that you are having thus far. Bear in mind, tomorrow a situation may be created that is to change those intentions. Those are the cards. And there is a conflict here, Ivila. Now, as an intentions, so we do have the Sun and the Six of Pentacles. And as a intentions, I don't know what they mean, but the intention is to make the most out of it until things become awkward or a problematic. Okay, so at the moment that he has to push for things around and has to struggle for things, let's say you're working together, and the moment that he has to struggle working with you or stop having fun working with you, then that person probably will kind of like withdraw or is gonna close within themselves. Now, one of the intention with these cards is to stop having conflicts with you if you do have conflicts in between one another. So he has an intention, he or she, because that could be she, has an intention to bury down the hatchets. Now, there is a conflict though, like I said, and that is the leagues. You are in a different leagues for what those cards are showing, and that is one of the reasons why those hatchets are incapable to be buried at that very moment. Or in other words said, because I know you're Bulgarian, how we like to call it, one of you has to drop to the level of the other. Okay, so one of you has to drop themselves down in order that to happen. If that's you, then you have to make a choice. If that's him or her, then they have to make a choice. But their intention, not just only regarding you, but in general, is to be happy. Okay, so that's the goal here. And if you can make that to happen, or you can contribute for that, they will have no problem. That person will have no problem through their happiness to try to make you happy as well, whether with work or whether with an intimacy, if that is what is going on in between you two. Okay, and last but not least, we do have news, Devon. So your brother upset you, and you want to know how he is gonna take it if you tell him how you feel. So let's check it out. Those are cards, Yasmin. He will understand, but he will not apologize. Okay. According to these, not Yasmin, but News Devon, I'm sorry. So according to these cards, whatever he said or whatever he conveyed, whatever he did, he firmly believes that he was entitled and within his rights to do it. But also he's going to understand why you are feeling the way you are feeling. However, that is, I think that what he's gonna tell you, that that's just how things are. Sometimes you're just not gonna be on the same page, and you will have to take him for his word, or in other words, it's your brother, you will have to accept him for who he is. And that's pretty much it. So if your hope is to kind of sway his opinion, change his mind, make him feel guilty, I don't think that that's gonna happen at all by the look of those cards. It's just, he ain't gonna budge by the look of them. But I don't think that is going to provoke more arguments unless you do not push it. It's just, you know, he's gonna make a point across that I think that he firmly understands, even if you do not speak about it. Well, if you want him to understand, yeah, I mean, you can tell him how you feel, give the arguments, but other than understanding, not much in term of merit is gonna take place, like him changing his opinion or changing his behavior or whatever the case, at least according to these cards, News Devon. So at least from my point of view, it's pointless. It's just a waste of breath, because I do think that he understands. I do think by the look of these cards that he very much knows, or at least having an idea, whatever he said or did caused to you. But to him is something that he was entitled and had to do. it was within his right to do or say. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity, and hopefully we're gonna see each other around. Until then, bye.